Welcome back to part 3 of when Vegeta meets the Universe 6 Saiyan King. If you haven't checked out the first 2 parts, I'll link those in the description box and the comment section below. So this is just a short mini-series I've wanted to do because this is one of the things I'm most excited for, and I'm really hoping Toriyama and Toei fall through with taking us to planet Sadala. You don't tell Dragon Ball fans there's a whole nother planet, I should say, of Saiyans in a different universe, and then we never get to see that universe. You don't put all that in there. I believe in foreshadowing. I've been a big advocate of that. When it's going to happen, I don't know. So I do think they'll follow through. But part 3. When Vegeta goes back to planet Sadala, I think we're going to take a deeper look into the Universe 6 Saiyans and their lore in regards to how they differ from the Universe Saiyans, not just physically, but mentally. And when I say this, I mean new things, not things we already have learned from Dragon Ball Super in the Universe 6 versus Universe 7 tournament and even the Tournament of Power, but new things that either Toriyama or whomever he's working with have kind of created. And most likely it will be Toriyama, because at the end of the day, a lot of ideas still come down from him, and then Toei, from what we knew or know, filled in the gaps. So I think that would be very important, because again, the Universe 6 Saiyans and Universe 6 Saiyans are different. They've evolved much differently than one another, and I think it's important to point out even more differences in regards to the hierarchy, the culture, all of that. I think that's extremely important if you're going to make this a bigger deal. And one thing I think is extremely important for them to also zero in on, based off of what's been shared with us so far, is a deeper look into the Planet Sadala Defense Force, featuring Kabe and his mentor Renzo, explanations on how they were able to rise up to the occasion and defend their planet, whether they had any invasions or whatnot that could have threatened Planet Sadala, or just simply taking us out on one of their missions or their excursions, because Kabe really admired his mentor Renzo, and I know that's probably something that a lot of fans just kind of overlooked, but he showed a serious amount of admiration, which tells me that Renzo was probably a very honorable, formidable, and tough Saiyan warrior in the heat of battle, because if he's able to have motivated a troop, a soldier like Kabe, to look up to him and with such admiration, Kabe's probably not the only Saiyan on that planet in the Planet Sadala Defense Force that looked at Renzo the same way. And I think a Saiyan soldier like that, a Saiyan, whatever his rank would have been, Lieutenant, Cap, I don't know, but I think that's important to really show why these other soldiers looked up to him so much, why they were able and willing to follow him into the heat of battle, and to, essentially come out on top in most situations, because Planet Sadala is still very well, obviously intact. And we saw Renzo, Caulifla, Kale, Planet Sadala is thriving, you know what I mean? So I think showing us what the leadership is like on that planet is a big deal, and I think that would also be very nice when you feature Vegeta in there, to have Vegeta kind of understand maybe some things. Of course, Vegeta being a prince, which technically should be king now, he would understand a lot of things compared to maybe Goku or somebody else that may be kind of like, huh? Goku is kind of naive to some things unless it's really broken down to him, but Vegeta has shown that respect, and I think that would go a long way and really showcasing just how brave the Planet Sadala Defense Force has been to protect their planet. Because we have to consider one thing that's probably a commonality between the two universes. There are soldiers, or I should say Saiyans, on planet Sadala that probably weren't fighters, obviously, like Kabe and the others. So I think it's important to know that those Saiyans are relying on Kabe, Renzo, whoever else is in their defense force, to defend their planet, to keep their livelihood where it's at. And I think showing that would be a great thing. Vegeta would obviously appreciate it, and who knows if he would obviously give any suggestions to the defense force, maybe show them some things that they could utilize in training to better defend themselves in case any serious threats came along the way. So I think that is something that would be really cool to see played up upon once Vegeta is able to get there, because again, we have a new planet of Saiyans, and until we get there, it's always going to be a mystery about just the glaring differences and some things that maybe we don't even know about, that I'm not even thinking of currently, that may be drastically different from Universe 6 and Universe 7. So I think that's something that'd be really cool to see. So that's just my thoughts on what I think would happen, at least in part 3 of this. There are 3 more parts that I will do from when Vegeta meets the Universe 6 Saiyan King. I think that all plays into that meeting. You guys feel free to let me know how you think that would go down, and especially if you would be curious as well to know certain things about Universe 6 Saiyans and anything you think would be cool for for them to reveal, or at least showcase to us that maybe we just haven't seen obviously in Dragon Ball before. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Take it from there. If you're new, make sure to subscribe here for weekly Dragon Ball discussion content. Hit that like button if you would like to do so, if you found yourself enjoying this video at any time. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have for you guys today, but I will see you all later. Goodbye.